Hello again. How are you? Hope you're fine. I'm back again with another lesson about IELTS writing, academic writing task 1. Well, as you remember in our previous part, we worked on writing opening sentence in trend graphs. And today we're going to work on opening sentence in comparative graphs. Well, you're pretty familiar with comparative graphs. We worked on this type of graph in previous sections, and today we're going to focus more on how to rephrase the question, how to change the words using some synonym languages, and make a very, let's say, great opening sentence. All right. Well, let's start with a bar chart. As you can see on your screen, this is a kind of sample of bar chart, and it is comparative. It means that we do not have any date. The data provided here compares different items. For example, we have cars, computers, books, perfume, and camera. So we're going to compare these expenditures. And let's read the question. The chart below shows the expenditure of 2 countries and consumer goods in 2010. So we have 2 countries, France and UK, in 2010. And it shows the amount of money spent on different items. All right. Now let's read the question again in detail, and let's work on some, let's say, synonym languages in order to make an opening sentence. So the chart below shows. So instead of shows, we know that we can use illustrates, right? Actually, we can use other words too, other verbs too that we worked in our previous section. So now here, you know that instead of show, we can use illustrate too. So the chart below illustrates the expenditure. So expenditure means the amount of money spent on something. So we cross it out, and we, instead of expenditure, we write amount of money spent of 2 countries. So here we have in the question 2 countries. However, in our opening sentence, we can write the name of the countries, right? France and the UK. On consumer goods. So instead of goods, we can write products in 2010. So if we change the words, all right, our sentence will be something like this. The chart illustrates the amount of money spent in France and the UK on consumer products in 2010. This sentence is good. However, it seems a little bit awkward because after the amount of money spent, that would be better if we write what spent on what, all right? So we put on consumer products after spent, all right? So our opening sentence will be something like this. The chart illustrates the amount of money spent on 5 consumer products. In the parentheses, we can write the name of those products. For example, cars, computers, books, perfume, and cameras. In France and the UK in 2010. This is a very good opening sentence for this bar chart. All right. Now let's take a look at another example table. Now, as you can see on your screen, this is a sample of table, and it compares data in 3. Again, we have consumer expenditure in 3 areas. For example, food, drinks, tobacco, clothing, footwear, and leisure and education. And we have 5 countries, right? Let's read the question. The table below gives information on consumer spending on different items in 5 different countries in 2002. All right. Now we are going to change this question. We're going to rephrase the question. We're going to use some synonyms instead of the words we have. And as you remember, there are three, let's say, pieces of information that we have in the question that we have to include in our opening sentence. So if you do not know anything about these three pieces of information, you can refer to our previous session. We talked about this part. All right, now let's read the question again and change the words. All right, the table below, we cannot change the word table, right? We cannot say, for example, chart. That would be better to use the word table itself too, right? So we have the table here too in our opening sentence. The table below gives, instead of gives, we can write illustrates, right? There are actually other verbs like provide, like portray, like display, right? So here, instead of gives, we write illustrates. All right, information. Instead of information, you can use data. So the table below illustrates data. On, instead of on, we can use about. Computer spending. So computer spending, how can we change it? We can say how much consumers spend, all right? So instead of consumer spending, we can write how much consumers spend. It has the same meaning. However, we've changed the structure a little bit. On different, instead of different, we can write various items. Instead of items, we can write products and services. In 5 different countries. So instead of 5 different countries, we can include the name of the countries, the name of those 5 countries. Ireland, Italy, Spain, Sweden, and Turkey in 2002. So if we change the words, our sentence will be like this. The table illustrates data about how much consumers spend on various products and services in Ireland, Italy, Spain, Sweden, and Turkey in 2002. So we can change the word order, all right? So when we change the word order, we actually make a little bit of a change that our opening sentence will not be the same as the question, right? So the first step is you change the words, you use some synonym language, and then you change word order, all right? So the order of the words should not be the same as the question itself. So if we change the word order, we can include the name of the countries in the middle of a sentence, like this. The table illustrates data about how much consumers in Ireland, Italy, Spain, Sweden, and Turkey spent on various products and services in 2002. This is a very good opening sentence. Now let's take a look at another chart. Here is a pie chart. And it is comparative. It compares the Australian household energy use and greenhouse gas emissions that actually come from this spending, actually comes from this energy use, all right? Now let's read the question. The first chart below shows how energy is used in an average Australian household. The second chart shows the greenhouse gas emissions which result from this energy use. Right now, we're going to change the words. Let's read the question again. The first chart. So instead of the first chart, we can instead of the first chart and the second chart, we can write the 2 charts, right? So we omit the second chart. We mix them together and we say, the 2 charts. Below shows, so it is singular. However, we should, because we have said the 2 charts, so here our verb should be plural, right? So instead of show, we can write represent. So the 2 charts represents how energy is used. So how energy is used, we can change it to the use of energy, all right? All the words are the same. However, we've just changed the order of the words. How energy is used, the use of energy. In an average instead of average, we can write typical. Typical. Australian household, we can write household in Australia. The second chart shows the greenhouse gas emissions. So instead of greenhouse gas emissions, we can write emissions of greenhouse gas, right? Which result from, instead of result, we can write resulting from this energy use. And instead of use, we can write consumption. So if we change the words, our sentence will be something like this. The two charts represent the use of energy by a typical household in Australia and emissions of greenhouse gas resulting from this energy consumption. Now, we changed the word order and our opening sentence will be this one. The two charts represent the use of energy by a typical household in Australia and the resulting emissions of greenhouse gas from this energy consumption. And this is our opening sentence for this pie chart. Now, let's take a look at an example of mixed chart. In mixed chart, or let's say mixed charts, we have a mixture of different charts. Maybe, for example, a mixture of bar chart and pie chart, bar chart table, or pie chart table. And as you can see on your screen, here's a mixture of pie chart and table, right? Now let's take a look at the question. The pie chart below shows the main reasons why agricultural land becomes less productive. The table shows how these causes affected 3 regions of the world during the 1990s. All right, so in the pie chart, we have causes of land degradation. So there are different causes: deforestation, overgrazing, cultivation, and other actual causes. And the table, there are 3 regions that cause this land degradation: North America, Europe, and Oceania. Now, we're going to change the words, and it's going to be, let's say, a long opening sentence because we have mixed charts. We have table and pie charts. So we are not going to say the two charts, all right? Because we should say the pie chart shows this and the table shows this. So now let's read the question again and change the words. The pie chart below shows. So instead of shows, we can write, for example, presents or illustrates or displays. Any of these words can be great. So shows, presents. The main, instead of main, you can write primary. Reasons, instead of reasons, you can write causes, right? Why agricultural land? So instead of agricultural land, we can write farmland. Becomes less productive. So instead of less productive, you can write the word degraded, all right? Now, the table shows, so that would be better if we use another word. So we used presents for our previous word instead of shows. And here we can write highlights, right? So instead of shows, you can write highlights. How? Instead of how, you can write the manner in which. These causes, again, we have the word cause. So instead of cause, we can write factors. Affected. Instead of affected, we can write influenced. 3 regions. Instead of regions, we can write areas of the world. During. Instead of during, we can write in. And yeah, that's it. All right. Now let's take a look at an example, a sentence that after we change these words. So it would be something like this. The pie chart presents the primary causes why farmland becomes degraded. The table highlights the manner in which these factors influenced 3 areas of the world in the 1990s. Now, we're going to change the word order, and we're going to use subordinating conjunction in the middle of a sentence to match these 2 sentences together, all right? So our opening sentence will be this one. The pie chart presents the primary causes for the degradation of farmland, while the table highlights the manner in which these factors influenced 3 areas of the world in the 1990s. And that's it. That's a great opening sentence, and I'm sure that the examiner is looking for an opening sentence like this. And remember, your opening sentence is one of the most important sentences in your Task 1 academic writing, because the examiner will assess your ability in your first sentence. So the opening sentence is very important. Try to work on opening sentence, writing different charts, writing different graphs, and writing different opening sentences, rephrasing the question and using other words instead of the words you have or you see in the question. That would make, that would help you to write an opening sentence in really less than 2 minutes. All right, that's the end of our today's session. Next session, we'll work on, again, opening sentence, and our opening sentence will be about maps and process diagrams. So stay tuned until next session. I hope you've enjoyed this part. Until next time, enjoy your time and goodbye.